So first live stream, let's do this. I'll put it on the channel. We'll send it out to everybody kind of on the list today. Really want to go over the big question that everyone's asking all of our companies is really how do you scale lead flow? Just for introduction, my name is Tim Euler. We have an HVAC private equity accelerator. We scale HVAC companies right now. Our portfolio is over 40, 45 million a year. Our clients are doing about 44, 45 million a year. We're scaling them right now. A lot of clients that are coming in with a lot of lead flow problems. So I want to cover really why this is a problem and how you can solve it and how you get more leads in HVAC. That's the key, right? How can you get more leads in HVAC? Everyone's struggling with it. It's a $1 million question. They all come to us with this problem. So I kind of want to go over that. I've personally done over 200 million in sales, 40 million to paid ads, driven 1 million customers to buy a product or service. So scaled a bunch of brands and businesses. So we are right now scaling multiple HVAC companies, helping them prepare for exit. So that's the deal. But today I want to go over how to scale lead flow in HVAC and the big question that's coming up all the time. So there's multiple companies we deal with right now every single day say, hey, I don't have the phones ringing. The phones are not ringing. How do we solve this problem? And I've got some things that are working really good for our portfolio clients. And I want to go through those and walk through the frameworks on how to think to get leads. That's the problem. I think it's like, how do you view leads and how am I going to get more leads into the business? Like, what's my mindset and my framework on how that actually happens? Because I believe it's just off for so many companies, right? So number one, there's only four ways to get leads: warm outbound, cold outreach, paid ads, and content. Like that's it. You can't get leads any other way that I know of. And that's exactly how you scale all lead flow into the business, right? And with a lot of companies that we work with, we have what's called a lead. What we teach is a lead flywheel, right? So a lead flywheel is essentially like Google or paid ads is the most common source people use to get leads, right? So that's one lead comes in the door, right? That's a 1-to-1 ratio. One Google lead, you call them, you do business with them, you're done, right? That's 1-to-1. But referrals is a compounding engine. It's the only compounding engine in your business. That's it. There's no other compounding engines in your business besides referrals, right? It's the only thing that says, hey, one referral becomes two, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16, 16 becomes 32. So right now, if you're saying, hey, how do I get leads? The most leveraged way to get leads is through referrals. Driving off paid ads, get the lead. Off the lead, off every house you visit, you get 2, 3, 4 referrals. Off those 4, you get 4 more referrals, 8 more referrals. If you simply did that, and you would never have a problem with lead flow again, right? And so many of these companies are coming to us and like, hey, like I'm struggling, like my calendars are empty. Like I'm struggling getting any business. My phones aren't ringing, right? Well, that's a big problem because you don't have these models built out. I'm going to kind of go through these models one by one so everyone kind of understands how to do it, right? First of all, here's the core problem. Number one, it's an output game. What do I mean by that? Like like people drastically underestimate the amount of output it takes to get leads. Here's what most companies do, right? Hey, I hired an agency to drive me leads, but the phone's not ringing. That's one way to get leads. And it's like most people don't hire the right agency. They don't understand how it works, right? But it takes 10 times the output to get the lead flow that you want to get. What do I mean by that? Number one, you need to run paid ads, right? If you want more leads, do 10x the volume on every channel you have, right? Which for you right now where you're at, you're probably more than likely setting at 1 to 3 million. That's kind of the sweet spot, right? 1 to 3 million. How do you get more leads that way? And 10x your output. Here's a perfect example right now. Number one, do you have a database of people that have done business with you? All right. Most people say, yes, I have, but they're not reaching out to them. All right. Well, tomorrow, start reaching out to all those people. SMS, email, pick up the phone, someone in your office, do an outbound campaign. Not just one call, 100 calls. So whatever you think your normal volume of output to get leads is, 10x it. So you'd say, oh, they're going to do 10 calls. No, 100 calls, right? And think about what resources do I need to put in place to get these calls out the door, right? So be thinking about that because I don't have the resource to do that. What would it take to get one person to 100 outbound calls, 100 emails, 100 SMS to your existing database a day, right? If they did 100, how many leads do you think they'd get? 5, 6 a day, right? In a 20-day work week, that's 100 leads, right? So like that's one way to immediately like do your output. Now you're starting paid ads. The problem with paid ads is in Google, like a lot of people come to us like, hey, I have a budget of $600 a month or $1,000 a month. I'm like, okay, cool. What's your ROI and return on ad spend? I don't know that. Okay, cool. You're always going to be spending $1,000 a month because you have no clue. You just look at it as like a burned expense. So like on paid ads, the way to scale that and go 10x is number one, you got to know exactly your attribution model. I need to know the lead comes in the door. What's the lead worth on day 0, day 30, day 60, day 120, day 365? When I was spending $2 million a month on paid ads, I knew exactly what my attribution model was from day 0 to day 30, day 60, and I could outspend everybody and beat everyone in that market because I knew exactly how much a customer was worth. I knew if they opted in and became a lead, they were worth this amount of money, right? So if I'm spending $1,000 on Google, but I'm getting 50,000 back, 30,000 back, one deal, two deals off that, right? Then I'm going to spend 2,000. But most people don't think is like when you have a winning campaign, you've got to spend more, 10x more, 10,000 a month, right? So many of these companies are doing 1 to 3 million, which I get. It's not easy, right? They got $1,000 budgets on Google, right? And they're not getting good results. There's a lot of reasons they're not getting those results, but that's one reason. So output is huge, right? Also, if you have any open bids, anybody that's done business with you, you didn't close. My guess is the Comfort Advisor tech is not following up on those deals, right? So what do? Outbound campaign for anyone that's done a deal with you or had an open bid that didn't close. How many calls you make? 100 a day, right? I mean, like have a sales meeting, say everyone that has an outbound campaign, go call those customers to generate leads, right? So it's like, think of your marketing efforts as how am I going to 100x the output to get more leads, right? You as the leader of the company, like that's your goal. And a lot of it's just everybody underestimates the volume of output it is to get leads. Because a lot of people running 1 to 3 million, if they got 3 new book calls a day and could close one deal and say your average ticket between service and full installs, let's say $8,000, when you factor in a $500 service ticket and a full install of $15,000, right? $8,000 per day they're losing by not doing this. And what a lot of people underestimate is like, hey, the amount of money I'm costing myself by not following up on my leads, doing the volume necessary to get the lead flow in the door is costing me $8,000 a day. That's 200 in a 20-day work week, right? 8,000 days, 160,000, right? That's a lot of money, right? That's 1.6 million a year. That's $1.6 million a year you're costing yourself by not running all the lead models that we teach, right? So like that's what I see so much of a problem. And just the referral model alone, if you just did referrals, so that's every single house you go to, right? You ask for a referral. What does that look like? Number one, you go to the house, you ask, you create, we have a basically referral model that we teach all of our companies. When they go to the house, they ask for, they give the customer a gift. The gift then is they are able to give that gift to their other friends. That they look good because they're giving that gift away to their friends, and that becomes a lead for you. And you get the lead at the house. You do not leave the lead. You do not leave that house without getting that referral. And every house you go to, you should get 3 to 5 referrals. Well, how do you do that? You go to the house, right? This is what we teach all of our portfolio companies right now. And this model is responsible for 17 million a year with one of our advisors in our company. He's doing 45 million a year. He's one of our advisors. He is doing 17 million a year with this referral model that I'm going to tell you about right now. Number one, you go to the house, your Comfort Advisor text, they go to the house right now, right? And say they have a $100 virtual gift card. So this virtual gift card, they give out to every single person. They say, hey, Sally homeowner, like I have this gift card. We're running a referral contest in our office this month. And I have this $100 gift card that I'm going to pass out and I can give away 5 of these, right? Do you have 5 friends that you could give this $100 gift card to? And if they do business with us with a full install or a high ticket item, I will give you a $500 or $1,000 in cash, right? So essentially, like whatever your price is, like you factor this in. Now this is your cost of good. So if you have a $15,000 install, you might be $15,500 to cover the cost of what this costs to do. But you get a lot more leads. So imagine going to this house, you run this model, you give them the gift card. It's called the umbrella model, where you're going into their sphere of influence, all their friends that are under their umbrella, right? They know, like, and trust her. That's a trusted source. Now she looks good because she's given Bobby Jenkins, $1,000 gift card. I'm sorry, $100 gift card to do a free tune-up or a free checkup or a furnace check-in, right? He looks good, no cost. You go out there, you run the call, you convert those people into a membership club, a full service install, a ticket, like a high ticket repair. Like that generates revenue, right? Oh, guess what you do there? You run the referral model again right there on the spot. You get another 2 to 4 leads off that house, and you just continue to repeat it over and over and over and over. And that's how you scale it, right? So it's very simple. Like if you want to scale your lead flow, like you got to look at it as warm outbound, cold outbound in my office, right? Paid ads and content. And that's really the only way you're going to scale it. But like the flywheel effect of driving in leads off of paid media, going to the house and running the referral model, like that creates constant lead flow along with the follow-up of your leads in your office. So if you're in your office and you have open bids, you have open bids that you're not running, you have people that have not bought from you, people that are in your database, right? That constant flywheel effect of new lead coming in, go to their house, run the referral model, they go in your database, you follow up on SMS, you follow up on email, and you just constantly loop. And it takes 100 times the effort, 100 times the output to get your lead flow up. But a lot of owners aren't willing to put in that work. And it's the reason they're stuck at 2 million a year. And they come to us and say, hey, we've been stuck at 2 million, 1.8, 2.1 million for literally 5 years. Or they're growing super small. And I'm like, hey, well, you're stuck. Like you're not going to be able to grow or sell the company because you're running a 10% margin at 250,000 a year, right? At a $2.5 million top line. You're not even sellable to anyone right now. And I'm like, if you don't scale this, like you're going to be stuck in a really stressful job. And you're not getting leads and everybody's upset. And you try to make all your money in the summer, which is almost impossible. So that's the kind of things like I see with all of our companies where they're stuck and it's just a constraint, but they don't realize the volume of output it takes is 10 times more than you think it actually is, right? And what they don't factor in is the cost of not doing that output every single day is costing them $1 million a year, right? One deal a day is $10,000 times 20 calendar work days is 200,000. That's $2.4 million they're losing out on every year by not running the model, right? So it's like when you think about that, right? Not only that, it's the amount of enterprise value you're costing yourself. The company goes from 2 million to 4 million. Now it's sellable because they're running $1 million in EBITDA. Now their enterprise value is $6 million. So that not only are you losing 200,000 a month, now you're losing $4 million in enterprise value that could be in your bank account when you sell it. So that's how important it's like. This is a $4 million problem to solve. If you thought about, hey, how do I solve my lead flow problems? Just so you know, it is hard, but it's worth $4 million more to your business and in your bank account when you sell it. Maybe a different perspective on how to look at it, right? So anyway, and you just got to factor in really the cost not to do that. And that's really the key. So what we see, the model that is successful, and we teach all of our companies to run this model and we help them do it, is number one, we help scale up their paid ads. Google's the 1,000-pound gorilla in home services, right? Which to scale up a Google paid campaign, it's simply number one, the reason people aren't successful at that is they don't have enough reviews. So they come to us and say, hey, I have 231 reviews at 4.5 star rating. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's pull up your area. You're competing with all these monsters that have 5,000 reviews, 3,000 reviews, 2,000 reviews, right? And they're getting reviews. They're getting 5 times the reviews on their Google My Business profile every single day. You get 2 reviews a week and you think, oh, I get reviews coming in. No, you need, the rule 10X. How can I get 100 reviews a week? How can I get 4 reviews a day? Like that's how you start competing with the people. So what happens is a lot of the companies that come into us, right? They come to us and say, hey, I can't get Google to work on paid ads. And I'm like, well, the reason is because Google My Business profile is not updated It's not getting constant feed of reviews, right? The right keywords. Google thinks you're not a business doing a lot of business. So guess who they're going to show? They're going to show the other 3 companies that have a lot of feedback on their profile, a lot of reviews coming in. They're responding to the reviews, the keywords, and they're going to show those people on the left. Those top 3 people on the left that are getting 90% of the traffic on local service ads, right? Those people on the left have a ton of reviews, right? They're responding to their reviews fast. They have the right keywords in the reviews. They're feeding their Google My Business profile reviews every single day. So every house you go to, you have to get a review if you want to make Google work, right? You have to, or hang up your shoes because Google's not going to work, right? I promise you that, because Google is basing their ability to show your ads on the left with, do they trust your company that you're a good company? And how do they trust your company? The right keywords, the right services, the right open office hours, the feedback from the customers, the rating, the amount and sheer volume of reviews come to your profile. So if you don't get a lot of reviews coming in, like, you're going to get smashed by everyone else who's getting 5 reviews a day coming in. Even if you're smaller, go get 1, 2, just make it a major priority to get reviews. All right. Once you can get Google, the engine started on Google, then that's coming in, that's firing in lead flow off of every single lead, right? Now you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 leads. So that's how powerful this is. Like, Google starts to work. Let's say local service ad starts driving you a lead a day. That lead becomes an appointment. Off that one appointment, you get 3 referrals, right? 3 referrals, 2 of them turn out. You go to those 2 houses, you get 3 referrals. You got 6 leads off of 1 Google lead. 1 Google lead. That's how important the model is, right? So you go there, and out of all those houses, not only is the leverage of getting reviews from those houses that you then feed back to Google My Business profile, right? That then helps you show more ads on the left, and you get more leads. So if you don't have the flywheel going, the lead flywheel, which all of our companies, we run this for them and show them how to do it. Like, if you don't have that going, like, I don't know how you're going to get a lot of leads, right? So it's like, once that starts, and then once the leads come in from Google, you get three out of that, and you go, say you get 3 Google leads, you go to 3 houses. Out of that houses, you get 6, right? From those 6 houses, how many more leads you're going to get? 25 if you run the model right. So, I mean, this is how, like, our advisor is doing $45 million a year and barely runs ads. Yeah, and $17 million off referrals. Yeah. So that is the model that everyone says, hey, if I have empty calendars, if I struggle with getting the phones to ring, then it's not just the one-to-one lead. It's they have a Google My Business profile problem that's not unoptimized. They can't run Google. They can't make that work. They're not running referral model, so they have no compounding effect on leads coming in. And that's essentially what it has. The next thing I want to touch on is really the membership clubs, because this is like a really big problem I see with a lot of companies. Let me get a drink because I'm talking nonstop here. So this is how important the membership clubs are to your business, and the reason you will not sit around with empty calendars if you run the model right. Your core focus as a business owner should be, how many membership clubs can I get inside my company, right? So here's a perfect example. Leland Smith with Service Champions, running a $50 million business, had 25,000 membership clubs, doing 70% of his revenue. Now he's doing 700 million. Right? Why? Because a membership club, right, gives you 2 at-bats every single year to make money off the customer, to service them, to treat them well, to gain their trust. They know, like, and trust you. You no longer have to compete on price when the company knows, like, and trust you, and they're not going to get 3 other bids, right? So what happens is, we've done the math on this, and about 1,000 membership clubs will net you, if you run the model properly, about $1 million to $1.5 million a year. So the core model is, how can I get more membership clubs that compound through time, right? And what do I sell them? So here's a perfect example. Like, a membership club, what we found that works really well, it's not a do or die thing, but, like, let's say you're getting, I don't know, $19 to $29 a month, kind of the sweet spot. You do 2 appointments in the fall and in the spring, because you're always going to be busy in the summer, right? So in the fall and in the spring, that's the key, right? So you want to make sure you're busy there. And if you have that, think about this. If you have 500 membership clubs, that's 1,000 appointments a year. That, if you're doing $3 million a year, you're probably not going to sit around with empty calendars, right? You can also fill the empty calendars by pushing forward the membership club appointments earlier. So there's no reason if your guys are sitting around with empty calendars, and it's because you don't have the membership club model dialed in properly, right? So like once you have the lead flow, the referrals, and you're stacking membership clubs, the membership clubs start to compound because every house you get a referral. Just keeps going, right? All off of Google feeding your leads, referrals feeding you leads, your customers feeding you more leads, you treating them right, and the snowball and the compounding effect, right, grows. This is how you scale up to $5, $7, $10 million with a 20% margin and sell the company for $10 million. So if you want to do that, like you probably want to figure out this model, right? So back to membership club, the key to that is number one, you have to have multiple things to sell them at the house. I see a lot of people like, hey, I'm going to go to this house and do a service call, and I don't sell air quality, UV lights, insulation, water heaters, or any of that. So I don't have enough things to sell them. So you've got to be able to go to their house and say, hey, your water heater is not in a good position. You probably need to replace it if they need it. I can sell insulation, UV light, air purification system to make their unit last longer. So we know if the unit is 3 or 4 years old, they don't need a new unit. 6 years old, 7 years old, probably don't need a new unit. They could use a purification system, air purification, air quality that like helps their unit and filters their air so their unit lasts longer. That's a key, right? That's a really big key. So that could be a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 package, right? That all your techs and going on the service calls could sell. But you got to be able to create revenue from other things, other services at the house besides putting in air conditioners. So that's the key if you want to scale and add on what we call bolt-on services. And these bolt-on services, when you have a membership club, they really open up for you to be able to sell other things. So example, if you have a membership club and you have air quality and you sell different filters for their system to get another 3, 4, 5 years out of that system, like that could be a $5,000 ticket, a $4,000 ticket that you can sell at the house, even $2,000, $3,000. That's a lot of money coming in off of a lead that costs $0, right? And a lot of profit coming in. Insulation's at 80% margin, right? Water heaters are a lot of revenue, right? I know when Leland Smith opened water heaters up for his company, he was selling like 90 a month. It was huge money for him, right? And just if you don't have the service, just contract it out to somebody that can. So that's the key is like someone has to like do the business, right? And so you could simply just contract it out. If you don't have a team to do it, just hey, it's water heaters, $1,000 and you're charging $1,400 and you're doing it and you're making $400 net, right? That's money found, right? And all because your membership clubs are stacking. So the key to the membership clubs is you want to offer everybody a membership club. 50% of the home visits should be easily converted to a membership club. That's the number you want to hold your techs accountable to, is about a 50% close rate. And you got to make sure that you're training your techs, you're role playing. You want to know why are they closing deals? How are they closing deals? What are the objections they're hearing at the house that's not closing? So that's super important. So that's like, if you say, hey, let's zoom out, what is the model, right? Number one, you have to have the lead flywheel in effect. So you got Google ads coming in, you go to the house, right? You get 2 to 3 referrals off every house. Off of those referrals, you get 2 to 3 referrals off of every house. So that lead flywheel model, once you know how to train, hold your reps accountable, and your techs accountable to run it, can just snowball your business. Then you pour the additional money into Google. Now you're spending 3, 4, 5,000 a month because you're getting back a 6, 7x multiple on Google. Now you're driving more and more leads and more leads. And like, that's the flywheel model that you got to run. And that's really what we teach all of our companies. We do it. So hopefully this helps. I mean, I think it's just like the big, huge takeaway from all of this. And I'm still learning this in my career as I go. It's like, whatever you think the amount of output it takes to get leads in the door, like you've got to figure out a way to go 10, 20, 30 times harder on the output, right? So it's, how do I get Google leads up 10x? How do I do my outbound campaigns in my office with 100 calls, not 10 calls, right? How do I have my team ask for referrals to get 5 referrals, not 1 referral? Like, it's just volume, it's output, it's velocity. It's as much as you can shove into your business to scale it. Eventually you start moving the needle, because right now you have a certain amount of leads coming in that are producing $2 million. Well, how do you grow that? You got to get more leads coming in, right? More input to output. It's an input to output equation. So it's like, hey, if I've got, 30 leads coming in this month. How am I going to get 130? Right. And if I 10x my outbound campaigns, and if I 10x Google, and if I 10x my referrals, then all of a sudden next year I'm doing $6 million, not $3 million. Right. Because it's an input output game. It's like more velocity, more output, violent, aggressive, like execution. Like that's how you scale a company. Right. And that's why most people don't scale a company. Right. Because it's hard. Right. And so anyway, I hope this helps. Like I'm going to be doing more of these to like really give you this is just what we do every day with our companies. And like we're just in the trenches doing this. So I see this every single day. So I just want to put this out there and hope this helps. And I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm going to try to do these like a couple times a week. And so to get on, especially on topics like this, and then do like live Q&A because I enjoy doing this stuff. So, all right, have a good day.